welcome back to Reptile Rich's channel. How's it going, everyone? Apparently Shelley didn't like that. So we're going to do a little episode on Alita today, because I got some old footage of me feeding her mice and things like that. Frozen pod, of course, not alive. And yeah, we'll give you an update on her and her new house as it's come along. So let's go and pay Alita a visit, shall we? As you guys can see here, she's getting quite big for this enclosure. She's outgrowing it. I mean, she's more than half the length of the enclosure now. This is a 6-foot enclosure. Her nose is at the halfway point and her tail's past the end. So she is far too big for this enclosure. And as you guys know, I like to give my animals nice, big, naturalistic or good enclosures that they can explore. As you can see from the other end too, she has destroyed her tree quite happily. She's dug into the expanding foam, so in her new enclosure she will not be getting an expanding foam thing. I was hoping that she would leave that alone, but unfortunately she hasn't. So she'll be coming out of there. I've been watching her, she hasn't eaten it, she's just digging at it. Probably boredom because her viv is too small for her. So that is why we're moving her over to this monster of a vivarium. Look at this, right here. It is huge. It's way bigger than me, that's for sure. Anyway, you can fit about 3 or 4 of me in there, easily, quite comfortably. It's a monster vivarium. It's like 8 foot by 3 foot, so that will do her just nicely. So as you can see, we're just waiting on some runners, some mesh coming, and then we'll order up the glass and it'll be good to go for her. But this is going to be where Alita is going to live, which will feel that's 6'4", probably Marley or someone like that, for the time being anyway. But yeah, so this is what we're working on for Alita. Isn't that a monster? You may have noticed that it's been a while again since our last video. This is why. I've been kind of busy sorting my car. Loads of big stuff went wrong with it, so I had to sort that. And hopefully it's kind of alright now to drive about. Kirsten's pooping herself that it's going to blow up while we're driving about in it. But it's all good. I fixed it myself. I've just got a couple of wee tweaks to go, and we'll get that. And that'll be one less worry to worry about that's taking up all my time. Because working on cars and doing flywheels and clutches and things in the driveway is never easy. So yeah, let's get back to the animal stuff. Come on, Egg. So out comes Alita, our Argentinian black and white tegu. Isn't she a sweetheart? Now unfortunately, I wouldn't really recommend these guys terribly well as pets. I would say they're definitely a more advanced lizard. They're definitely not for beginners. There are a couple of reasons for this, I would say. Eating habits, brumation, that kind of thing. Health problems, you can go onto any tegu sort of Facebook page, go in the search bar on that page, to search prolapse or tail issues or skin issues, and you'll be able to scroll for hours and find all these tegus with all these issues and things like that. So you've got to really know what you're doing. Another reason for that is there isn't a lot of dedicated information on the internet. Some people say this is bad for them, some people say it's good for them, some people say they need kept this way, other people say they need kept that way. So a lot of it is making it up as you go along. So if you're not able to read the animal and figure out what the animal needs by what it's telling you, which comes from being an experienced keeper, again, they're not terribly for you. As much as I love Alita to bits, if I'd have known all this before I got her, I'd probably have got a different monitor. But I'm glad I have her now, and I love her to bits, as much as she's cost me vet bills and she's been a pain in the butt over the years. She's probably going to go and poop on the carpet. So let's let her outside for a wee pee. Maybe get some shots of her outside, and then we'll bring her in, and we'll feed her some of these mice. If Alita decides she's had enough, she will just take herself home again. but I don't usually let her if she hasn't pooped already, because I like her to poop outside rather than on my carpet. So when looking at a healthy tegu, or most lizards, you want to see this little flap along the side here. You want to see that line along the side there when she's not eating. So when she's got an empty tummy, you want to see that line along the side, so that's room to expand if she has a big meal or anything like that. But then you look at her back and you can see, you can't see her spine, it's sort of sunk in the way, and you have that muscle around it. And then they store most of their fat in their tail. So she has, I can't even fit my hand around her tail. So she has a nice chunky tail on her. So she's a perfect weight. Right there is exactly what you want your tegu to look like. Nice and lean, not overweight, not fat, but when she eats, that little flap on the side will disappear because she will have a belly full of food. So it's an absolute privilege living with a living day dinosaur. Such a cool animal, such a big lizard. But like I say, with big lizards come big responsibilities, big homes, and big vet bills, of course. Now what does such a big lizard eat, you might ask? Anything she wants. Again, there's a lot of mixed information on what to feed tegus. Some people say they can't handle red meat, some say they can, some say they can't handle whole prey items like mice, some say that they feed them off, they live off it their whole lives, they've lived off it in their collection and stuff like that. Because the argument is that they get impacted from all the fur, they get all bound up in their intestines because they can't digest the fur. The way I think about it is, in the wild, they'll eat carrion, they'll eat anything they come across, dead or alive. There's no sell by date. They don't see a dead mouse and go, oh, I shouldn't eat that, that'll bung me up. No, if it's dead or if it's in their path and they can eat it, if it can fit in their mouth, they're going to eat it. Eggs, baby mice, chicken, chicks, fruit, veg, bugs, beasties, anything, probably even other reptiles and amphibians, so like little frogs and little snakes and things. Anything these guys can get a hold of, they're going to eat. So my basic rule, or how I feed Alita, is in moderation. I try and vary it as much as possible. I even give her whole fish. I think, is it sardines we give her? Yeah, we give her sardines, whole sardines. We cut them up, of course, for her. But she'll get whole sardines some days. She'll get chicken livers. She'll sometimes get, or very rarely, as you see here, she gets the odd whole mouse. Now that's only about once a month, if that, sometimes even longer. And when I give her them, I give her the pups. So the rat pups. So they're bite sized for her. They're a half decent size. She can get a few of them down her and it'll fill her tummy, but there's no fur on them. One of the things you can do when you're taming a lizard down is have them follow it up onto you. Like this. There you go. The downside is you often get mouse juices on them. And they pop and burst them, right? Come on, come on. Here they go. Here's Miguel. What a cool lizard, isn't she? She's such a cool little dinosaur. Right, this is your last one. Wait, no, wait, no. Okay. Oh. Come on in. Come on. Come and get it. Would you like it? Here we go. I don't often do feeding videos, but it's quite rare that she gets mice, and I thought you guys would like to see that. Now she's actually coming right up on me looking for more. Is there more up here, Dad? Is there more for me? Is there more for me? Please? I know you would like more, but that's all I got. But next time I'll get you some more pups, sweetheart. But I don't think, like I say, in moderation, even one with fur on the rare occasion would be any problem to her. Like I say, they don't have a dietary chart in the wild that they go by. If they come across it and they can fit it in their big gob, they're going to eat it. It's as simple as that. Aren't you, Alita? Yes, you are. So that's my guide as to what to feed her. Anyway, we're going to do a detailed sort of how-to and tegu care with Alita at some point on the channel. We're going to do a really detailed sort of my version of a care sheet, what I've found that works. So Alita, of course, is a girl, so this will be her about fully grown. The boys get a bit bigger, but even fully grown, as you can see, she's still a long lizard. She's still a big girl. Bearing in mind, housing wise, you want them to have 2-3 times the length of them. They're not like a snake that can be happy in a smaller box. Lizards are very active, very smart animals, so they need a lot of space. That's why we only have one big lizard, because there's no way we could fit two, especially having the Burmese python and all that stuff as well. So That is Alita and her new Viv. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. As always, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share the page around, tell your friends. The business is doing really well. The Off the Scale is kicking off. Everyone's booking and things like that, which is absolutely amazing. A large part of that is thanks to Kirsten. She's putting in a lot of work in the business and stuff like that, so I can't thank her enough. Thank you very much. And yeah, share the love, share the news, share the page and all that kind of stuff. And me and Alita and the rest of the gang will see you on the next one. Peace.